What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another Manchester City video, where today we're going to be reacting to the Champions League playoff draw, which has seen Manchester City draw Real Madrid. Marvellous. Right, before we do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video and do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Man City, Real Madrid, what are you thinking? City going home and Manchester City going through? If we are to go through, how are we going to go through? Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. So, firstly, we're in this position because we've not done our job properly. I remember saying at the very start of the competition, when the league stage was drawn and Manchester City looked at their schedule, and I said, my exact words were, we've got to be looking at 16 points. We're looking at 5 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses will be enough for Manchester City to go into the top 8, which would see us be the seeded teams for the last 16 draw. That has got to be Manchester City's aim. And I'd be looking at all the teams in the competition. You start to categorise about which teams you think are favourites, and always the 2 teams that come out will be Manchester City and Real Madrid. Real Madrid current holders, winners of the competition last season. The season before, Manchester City were the winners of the competition, and we seem to be getting a very heated rivalry coming between Manchester City and Real Madrid, and what I regard as 2 of Europe's very best teams going toe for toe. It's a match worthy of the final. In an ideal world, we don't want this kind of tie until it gets to the quarter-finals like we had last season, or a semi-final like we had in the season before, which saw Manchester City then go to the Champions League final and go on to win the competition. But we've not done our job. We ended up finishing 22nd in the league. We needed a win on the last game to be able to qualify into the playoffs. We're an unseeded team in the playoffs, so we're at a little disadvantage where we're at the Etihad Stadium in the first leg, and then at second leg, when we know what we need to do, we're away from home at the Santiago Bernabeu, so it's going to be a very difficult 2 legs for Manchester City, sandwiched in what is a very busy schedule for City. You look at who City are playing before Real Madrid, it's Leyton Orient in the FA Cup. After that, though, Newcastle at home, Real Madrid away, Liverpool at home. Very difficult Premier League fixtures, and 4 games, Real Madrid at home, Newcastle at home, Real Madrid away and Liverpool at home, is potentially going to decide if Manchester City are going to be successful this season or not. Now, had we done the appropriate business that we needed to do last summer, along with a strong January window like we've had so far, and we didn't have a season-ending injury for Rodri, I'd be sitting here saying that I'm very confident that we could go and do Real Madrid over 2 legs, and we can win them games against Newcastle and against Liverpool as well in the Premier League, whilst progressing to the 5th round of the FA Cup. That's the ideal world that we sit in. But if we had all our players available and we didn't have a Rodri injury and we'd done what we needed to do in the market, I'm confident that City would have been a seeded team in the top 8 and would already be in the last 16 of the draw, knowing that we've got a nice 1-week break between each game in February, and we've not got a fixture pile up with difficult games to come, because we already knew what the schedule was like, because the Premier League schedule's done before the Champions League schedule. So we've got ourselves to blame for this, and Real Madrid, they're not going to be too happy about this draw. It's not a great draw for them either. They don't want to face Manchester City in the playoffs. It's the most difficult draw that they could have hoped for, but they're going to be taking a lot of confidence away from, they're the current champions. They know what it takes to knock Manchester City out of this competition, and Manchester City know what it takes to knock Real Madrid out of the competition as well. So you look at the head-to-heads in the Champions League that we've seen between these 2 sides. Manchester City with 4 wins, Real Madrid with 3 wins. We've seen 5 draws, suggesting that this is going to be a really close game between Manchester City and Real Madrid. What Manchester City need to do to go through to the last 16 of the Champions League is make sure we get a really positive result at the Etihad. And a positive result for me, because with a team playing at home first, it's got to be a win. Anything other than a win at the Etihad Stadium, and I see it as a one-way ticket for Manchester City to exit out of the competition. Real Madrid will be very happy to come to the Etihad Stadium and not lose. If they draw or win that game, Real Madrid are firm favourites. It means City have got to go to the Bernabeu and win without Rodri, without potentially signing a central defensive midfielder, whilst having games against Newcastle and Liverpool, high-energy teams, albeit they're at home, but the high-energy teams sandwiched between that game as well. It becomes very difficult, so it's really important that Manchester City get a positive result at the Etihad Stadium. Now, when we're looking at a positive result at the Etihad, I think Real Madrid would even be happy with a very narrow Man City win. Man City win by 1. Real Madrid know in their heads that they're capable of going to the Bernabeu, scoring a couple of goals inside 5-10 minutes, and all of a sudden the tie gets turned on its head. So if Manchester City, and that's a big if, get into a position where we can get ourselves 2, 3, 4 goals up in this game, we've got to take it, because if we don't, we will go out of the competition. That's what we're going up against. If you do not take your opportunities against Real Madrid, you will go out. We know that from 2022. Have a look when Manchester City thought they were on the way to Paris for the Champions League final, and Real Madrid managed to grab a couple of goals in injury time, go on to win in extra time, and Manchester City exit out of the competition when literally we were a couple of minutes away from being in Paris. Real Madrid needed a couple of goals and from nowhere managed to find it, because that's the aura that Real Madrid have in this competition. This competition belongs to Real Madrid, so it has got to be 2 10 out of 10 performances from City to go through. Real Madrid have a lot of pace in their team. Man City's high line will be fully exposed, so City will have to adapt. They'll have to sit nice and tight. They'll have to try and constrict space for Real Madrid to work with, and we're going to have to try and take the game to Real Madrid and try and get our attacking talents on the ball. Now, we do know we've got the advantage that our new players that we've signed in January are registered to play in the playoffs, so most importantly, Omar Marmoush can play in this game, so it'll be a handful for Real Madrid's defenders to deal with. And Manchester City need to try and dominate that midfield. So the likes of De Bruyne, Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva sitting in a deeper role. You've got to find ways to get these players involved in the game. We need plenty of pace to try and get a bit of space for our attackers, including the likes of Savinho. It would be great if we could have Doku back as well. Erling Haaland needs to be firing on all cylinders. And as Pep Guardiola said, if City want a fighting chance of going through, bar Rodri, we need everybody else back for this tie. Because if we don't, we could well go out. And someone like Ruben Diaz, currently out injured, we could do with him. Doku, pace for days, we could do with him. It could be a really useful impact player in this tie. We need everything to go right for us, because if it doesn't, again, Real Madrid are waiting. This competition belongs to them. They won't like the draw, but they're not going to be sitting there sweating about playing Manchester City. They've not done their job in finishing in the top 8. We've not done our job in finishing in the top 8. We've got what we deserved. Difficult game against Real Madrid. If we get through that, it's Atletico Madrid or Bayer Leverkusen, 2 very high energy teams in the last 16. Again, very difficult with a lot of complications. You look at the other half of the draw, City have got the potential of playing maybe Arsenal, it could be Inter Milan, beyond there, it could be Barcelona, it could be Aston Villa, it could be Liverpool as well. It's a very difficult draw this for Manchester City if things don't go right, but we're looking far beyond. Focus has to be on Real Madrid only. We know if we don't go through, we're out of the competition, we're out of Europe. It's done and dusted. No Europa League dropouts or anything for Manchester City. If we exit out the competition, it's very simple. Not Real Madrid out, or we go out and we're done and dusted. We don't even get to the last 16 of the competition. A giant, one of the favourites for the competition, is going out in the playoffs. Will it be City? Will it be Real Madrid? What an exciting game from a neutral perspective. UEFA will be loving this. Is exactly what they were looking for with this format. But in an ideal world, City, Madrid, they don't want to meet each other till we get to the quarterfinals, semi-finals, even a match worthy of the final. Not going to happen. One of us is going out. One of us is going to be left really disappointed. One of the best teams in Europe going out really early into the competition. And due to how bad we were in the league stage, we've managed to get through to the playoffs, but we've got what we deserve, so yeah. There we go. They're my thoughts. Do let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments below. Also, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. That would be much appreciated. Do subscribe if you are new around here. And social media links, they are in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And I'll see you all again real soon for the next City video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.